If cleaning your home feels overwhelming, exhausting, and somehow never finished, despite the hours you pour into it, you do not have a cleaning problem. You have a layers problem, and nobody ever explained the layers to you. I am Keiko Nakamura. I am 72 years old, and what I am about to show you will immediately explain why cleaning has felt so hard, why some people seem to maintain spotless homes with minimal effort while you work twice as hard for half the result, and why every cleaning session leaves you tired before you have actually cleaned anything. There are 3 distinct layers between a messy home and a clean one. Most people treat all 3 as a single, undifferentiated task called cleaning. That misunderstanding is the entire source of the exhaustion. Once you see the layers separately, everything changes. Let us go through them precisely. The problem nobody names. Think about the last time you decided to clean your home. Really clean it. You set aside a Saturday morning. You committed to getting the house properly done. What actually happened? You started in the kitchen. Before you could clean the kitchen, you had to deal with the dishes, and the cups on the counter, and the mail that had accumulated near the door, and the items that had been left on various surfaces throughout the week. By the time you had dealt with all of that, an hour had passed. You were already tired, and you had not cleaned anything yet. No wiping of surfaces, no mopping of floors, no actual cleaning of any kind. Just management of accumulated daily disorder. Then you moved to another room, same pattern. Picking up, sorting, putting away, making decisions about things that had no clear home. Another hour gone. Still no actual cleaning. By mid-afternoon, you were exhausted. The house looked considerably better than when you started, but you had not actually cleaned it. You had managed the backlog of 2 layers that you did not recognize as separate from cleaning. And when the house gradually returned to its previous state over the following week, the cycle began again. This pattern is not a character flaw. It is a structural misunderstanding. Here is the structure. Layer 1, daily maintenance. The first layer is not cleaning. This is the most important thing I will tell you today. Daily maintenance, the dishes, the surfaces cleared of objects, the trash thrown away, the items returned to their locations, is not cleaning. It is the daily operating cost of an inhabited home. It must happen every day, not because it is cleaning, but because it is what prevents cleaning from becoming impossible. In Japanese homes, this distinction is deeply understood and culturally embedded. There are specific words for the daily maintenance acts and separate words for cleaning. They are not confused with each other because they require different time, different energy, different tools, and different frequency. Daily maintenance tasks are characterized by 2 features. They take under 5 minutes each when done promptly, and they multiply in difficulty exponentially when deferred. A dish washed immediately after eating takes 15 seconds. The same dish after overnight sitting takes 2 minutes. Multiplied across every meal, every day, every week of deferral, the arithmetic produces the hours of exhausted pre-cleaning you experience before actual cleaning begins. The daily layer includes all dishes washed and put away after every meal without exception, all trash disposed of at the moment it is generated rather than left for later, all surfaces cleared of items that do not permanently belong there, all items used during the day returned to their designated homes before sleeping. None of these actions is cleaning. All of them are prerequisites for cleaning. When they are done daily, they are invisible, taking perhaps 20 minutes total across a full day, barely noticeable. When deferred, they accumulate into an apparent mountain that must be climbed before cleaning can begin, consuming all available energy and leaving nothing for the actual work of cleaning. The psychological impact of confusing this layer with cleaning is significant. When you approach a Saturday cleaning session and immediately encounter 2 hours of daily maintenance backlog before you reach any actual cleaning, you develop an accurate but misdirected belief that cleaning is enormously effortful. It is not. The daily maintenance backlog is enormously effortful. The cleaning itself is comparatively straightforward. Separate these in your mind first, then separate them in your practice. Layer 2, clutter. The second layer is also not cleaning. It is decluttering, and it may be the layer causing you the most hidden suffering because it is the one that never fully resolves when treated as part of cleaning. Here is what I mean. When you approach a room to clean it and it contains objects that have no designated home, objects that are simply present in the room without belonging specifically anywhere, you face a problem that cleaning cannot solve. You cannot vacuum around permanent ambiguity. You cannot mop past objects that are in the wrong place because there is no right place for them. You move them, you shift them, you create a temporary arrangement that allows cleaning to proceed. And then they drift back, or spread further, or accumulate additional homeless companions. This is the cycle that makes cleaning feel futile. You clean, but the underlying layer of undecluttered objects ensures that disorder returns quickly and completely. The cleaning addressed the surface. The unaddressed second layer regenerated the mess. In Japanese homes, this second layer is addressed as a completely separate, dedicated practice that has nothing to do with cleaning. Objects either have a specific, logical, permanent home within the house, or they do not belong in the house. There is no middle category of things that sort of live somewhere temporarily. The discipline of ensuring every object has a permanent home is ongoing, periodic, and treated with the same seriousness as financial management. It is a household responsibility, not a cleaning task. When this layer is properly maintained, the home reaches what I think of as the decluttered state, not minimal, not bare, simply a home in which every object present belongs specifically somewhere, and that somewhere is logical enough that returning the object there requires no decision. It is simply where the object goes. In this state, the daily maintenance layer becomes simple. If everything has a home, putting things away is automatic. You pick up the object, you return it to its home, the action is complete. There is no consideration of where it might go, no temporary placement, no drift back into disorder. The decluttered state also transforms cleaning itself. When you approach a room to clean it and every object in that room belongs exactly where it is, cleaning is purely physical. You move the object, clean the surface, return the object. Total time, seconds, no decisions, no energy spent on anything except the actual cleaning. Achieving the decluttered state requires a dedicated session separate from both daily maintenance and cleaning, in which every object in your home is evaluated for whether it has a genuine, specific, logical, permanent home. Objects that do not are either given one or removed from the home entirely. This is not a small task. It may take multiple sessions across weeks or months for a home that has never undergone this process, but it is done once properly and then maintained with much smaller ongoing effort. The maintenance of the second layer is integrated into the daily maintenance routine. When new objects enter the home, they are immediately assigned a permanent home. When objects no longer serve their purpose, they leave. The layer stays at zero through this ongoing practice rather than requiring periodic emergency clearing. Layer 3, actual cleaning. The third layer is what most people mean when they say they need to clean: sweeping, mopping, vacuuming, scrubbing surfaces, cleaning glass, sanitizing bathrooms, wiping down kitchen surfaces with proper cleaning products. This is actual cleaning. Here is what Japanese housekeeping philosophy understands about this layer that most Western approaches do not. Actual cleaning is only possible, only effective, and only durable when the first two layers are already handled. Trying to vacuum a floor covered with objects is not vacuuming. It is an obstacle course that produces partial results at maximum effort. Trying to wipe down kitchen surfaces covered with objects that have no home is not cleaning the kitchen. It is cleaning around an unresolved organizational problem while the actual surfaces remain partially untouched. When both previous layers are maintained, actual cleaning is what it should be: pure, efficient, satisfying physical work with clearly visible, immediate results. You sweep a clear floor and it takes 4 minutes. You wipe clear surfaces and they are clean in one pass. You mop an unobstructed floor and the result is immediate and complete. The time actual cleaning requires when the first 2 layers are handled is a fraction of what most people experience as their cleaning time. Because most of what people experience as cleaning time is actually first and second layer management that they have not separated conceptually from cleaning. A home with maintained daily habits and maintained decluttering can be genuinely cleaned in 60 to 90 minutes. Not superficially tidied, properly cleaned, every surface addressed, every floor done, every bathroom sanitized. 60 to 90 minutes because no time is spent on layers 1 and 2 that have already been managed. Compare that to the 4 to 6 hours many people spend on weekend cleaning sessions that still leave them feeling like the house is not quite clean. The difference is not effort or thoroughness. It is that 4 of those 6 hours are being spent on layers 1 and 2, leaving insufficient time, energy, and focus for layer 3. Why this understanding changes everything. The value of separating these 3 layers is primarily psychological before it is practical. When you understand that the daily maintenance tasks are not cleaning, you develop different motivation for doing them. They are not cleaning to be avoided. They are the daily price of having a home that is cleanable. Doing them is not a sacrifice of time. It is an investment that prevents the far larger sacrifice of a Saturday lost to pre-cleaning before actual cleaning can begin. When you understand that decluttering is not cleaning, you stop expecting cleaning to resolve the disorder that unhoused objects create. You address the second layer directly and properly, accepting that it is its own task requiring its own attention, and you stop the cycle of cleaning without result that occurs when this layer is ignored. When you understand that actual cleaning is the third layer only reachable after the first 2 are handled, you stop experiencing it as an overwhelming mountain. It is a contained, finite, physical task that requires perhaps 90 minutes when approached correctly. It is satisfying rather than exhausting because it produces visible, durable results rather than temporary surface improvement on top of unresolved underlying disorder. The Japanese household system in layer terms. Japanese home management organizes naturally around these 3 layers, though they are not explicitly named as such. They are simply assumed as distinct obligations with distinct rhythms. The first layer is handled through the daily practices embedded in morning and evening routines. Dishes addressed after every meal, surfaces cleared before sleep. A brief evening walk-through that returns displaced objects to their homes. These practices are not experienced as burdensome because they are small, frequent, and automatic. They are no more remarkable than bathing or brushing teeth. The second layer is managed through regular, scheduled attention to what belongs in the home and what does not. Seasonal reviews of clothing, books, and household objects. Immediate assignment of homes to new arrivals, deliberate, unhurried decisions about objects that have outlived their purpose. This layer is never urgent because it is never deferred long enough to accumulate into crisis. The third layer is scheduled cleaning that happens on a known, consistent schedule. Weekly for primary surfaces, daily for the bathroom and kitchen as described in earlier discussions, seasonal for deep work. This cleaning is experienced as maintenance rather than rescue because it is addressing surfaces that are clean, unobstructed, and simply due for their scheduled attention. The result is a home that appears to require minimal effort to maintain because the effort is distributed correctly across all 3 layers rather than collapsed into periodic, exhausting rescue operations. How to begin separating your layers. Start with awareness rather than action. For 1 week, observe what you are actually doing when you think you are cleaning. Note every moment spent dealing with objects that do not have homes. That is second layer work. not cleaning. Note every moment spent on dishes, trash, and putting away items that should have been addressed daily. That is first layer catch-up, not cleaning. Note how much time remains after those two categories for actual surface cleaning. That remaining time is your true cleaning time. Most people discover that their actual cleaning time is a small fraction of what they experience as cleaning time. The rest is first and second layer management they have never separated conceptually. Once you can see the layers clearly in your own home, you can begin addressing them correctly. Establish the daily habit of first layer management so it never accumulates. Begin the ongoing work of second layer decluttering so that every object in your home has a genuine permanent home. And experience, perhaps for the first time, what actual cleaning feels like when you approach it with nothing else to do first. It feels completely different, lighter, faster, more satisfying, and genuinely finished when you stop. That is what cleaning has always been meant to feel like. The layers were simply in the way.